Hello and welcome to the Situation Room on ChannelOne television, broadcasting from number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano in Accra. My name is Umar Rusanda Amadu, and as I do this every week with my colleague
Sami Wiafe.
And we are bringing you exciting news of the coverage of the unveiling of Dr. Manhyia South in the Ashanti region. The two of us were there. We just got back yesterday. We'll tell you what we saw and then let you remember what you saw and also give it better perspective what you saw on the screens. Stay with us on the Situation Room. We'll talk about Dr. Manhyia South and more. You're welcome back. This is the Situation Room on ChannelOne television. It is a show that we do for you every week where we do the analysis of the big issues relating to our elections. The elections are coming up on December 7. And we've been tracking all the political parties for you, particularly the two leading political parties for you since last year when we launched this program on ChannelOne television. We've been doing this for you, doing the analysis and tracking the elections. Today we have some exciting package coming up for you. Our regular poster on the show, Musa Damka, will be joining us in a bit. He has done some work for the Greater Accra region and Ashanti region, focusing on Napo. There's another story coming from the Ashanti region where Professor Smart Sapon said he has also done some work on the NP parliamentary primaries in Manhyia. We'll talk about those two things. But before then, the two of us went to cover for ChannelOne television and for City FM the unveiling of Dr. Manhyia South, which happened on Tuesday at the Jubilee Park in Kumasi. It was a beautiful convergence of political fanatics, supporters, and executives who have come to outdoor the person who's going to be their running mate into an election. And they did that strategically in their own turf, in their backyard, maybe to appease the Ashanti folk, maybe to also rejuvenate the base, and a lot of maybes. The new running mate who's been outdoored made some comments that have been generating the news headlines, not a particularly positive ones, unless you are of the principle that no bad news or no news is bad news. Maybe he possibly is riding on the publicity that he's gotten, but there are other watchers who say that he misspoke, which misspeaking is not expected of him. A lot of issues around his personality. Sami, we were there together.
Yeah.
I don't know what were the key highlights for you, watching the procession from the palace to the place, or going to pay homage to the Otunfo, or the speeches at the Jubilee Park, or maybe things that were happening outside the park. I don't know which ones.
My excitement was the traditional one. For me, it was a blend of tradition and politics, in the sense that the first of all went to the Otunfo because he's a royal. When you do what is supposed to be done as a royal, before coming to do the political aspect of it. Mm-hmm. The speeches were good. The president, the national chairman, general secretary, MPP, presidential candidate, and then him, the vice presidential candidate. It was a good program, good organization. MPP members came in their numbers at the Jubilee Park. From the beginning of the program, you and I thought that the place was too small. Yeah. But then they justify why they needed such a place to do this organization. The numbers were there. If you look at the pictures, and from where we were standing, at least we saw the crowd, we saw the pictures, we saw the number of people who had turned up. And everybody who matters in the MPP was present. Mm-hmm. From the president to the last person on the ground, you saw all of them on stage, ministers of state, members of parliament. It was something good politically for the MPP. The completion of the entire ticket and ready for the 2024 election in December. Immediately after the outdooring, the two of them are already on the campaign field. The vice president is in his home region with the northeast. Napo is in the western region. We are told he will move from there to the central region and continue with the campaign activities. The MPP seems to be ready, but the commentary that has come after this outdooring program is what everybody is talking about. A lot of people thought maybe the speech didn't go well. People thought that, in such an occasion, it was best if he was giving a written speech. But people also disagree and say that in such an occasion, you don't need a written speech. As party supporters, you are addressing. You don't want to go and do long things. Just tell them what they want to hear, and then we move on from there. So it's been argument for and against what he said with regards to the Nkrumah development, comparing Kwame Nkrumah and President Akufo-Addo. A lot of people will support him. I think yesterday I heard you speak to his spokesperson who said it was a strong personal opinion. Others also disagree. They thought that there was no way you can compare the Akufo-Addo government to Kwame Nkrumah. They mentioned a litany of things that Kwame Nkrumah has done for this country. So everybody has his own opinion in respect of this particular candidate. The candidate or the vice presidential candidate himself has gone to the Western region, gone to justify that particular statement, saying that in Ghana, you have to speak the truth. If you speak the truth, it's something else. So let's see how it plays out. He's on the campaign trail. I'm sure this thing will come up, from time to time, and he must either justify it why he said those things.
So we saw a candidate being outdoored in his turf, where essentially the NPP is saying to the Ashantis that we are giving you number 2. You may not have gotten number 1, but you're getting number 2. So you should be excited, you should be happy. And I see the unanimity in a number of the speakers there who are agreeing. Another key thing for me is the fact that they managed to get the people who contested Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in the flag bearership race to come there and give some solidarity of a sort. And particularly making Kennedy Japan be the one who lead them to speak for them. It speaks volumes. Except that Kennedy Japan is a maverick politician. It's not all the time you have to trust him.
Remember after his speech, at the latter part of his speech, he threw in some caution. That if an appointee, still go to their grounds and go and talk to them. A lot of people are disgruntled, no two ways about this. MPP fears that apathy may affect the party in the December election. They want to avoid what happened in 2008, where apathy played an important role. Now, they want to whip up almost everybody and all the sentiment. And unity is key. Remember when Wuntumi came to speak on stage, he preached about unity. There's a reflection between Wuntumi, which is the regional chairman, and Napo. The vice president has tried to solve that matter. But as to whether it has really been solved, is between the two of them.
Did we see them at the venue?
Yeah, they were there. Wuntumi was there.
No, not Wuntumi. I mean the regional minister was also there.
The regional minister was there. Okay. I saw the regional minister.
How about the education minister?
I didn't see the educational minister there.
He may or may not be.
Perhaps he may be there, but when we're sitting, we will not have been an opportunity to see almost all of them. But then again, then people want to sound in the unity, because going to the 2004 election, which is in December, the party needs all its numbers. They need all the numbers to ensure that 2024, they need all the numbers. They need unity. It's very important to every political party if they want to win an election. The MPP has come out several times to say that they want more votes from the Ashanti region. The target is 85%, which the party has never done before. The best they've done is 70%. Now the party wants to roll as much as 85% of its supporters in the region to vote. Now what they are planning is that if all the 85% come out to vote, there's a possibility they can win the December election. Because apart from Greater Accra, the Ashanti region comes when it comes to the voter population. Now, if you get 85% of your people in a particular region, which is known to be your stronghold, to come out in your numbers to come and vote, there's a possibility you can win an election. Remember in 2008, MPP almost won the election with just 2 regions, which is the Ashanti region and the Eastern region. Now, they want to more or less repeat that and get the other regions to also add their votes to it to make sure the party is able to break the 8. The more reason why I said that on Tuesday, it was a blend of tradition and politics. Now, tradition is that the gentleman is a royal. We are told that he's from the Apejafie. Now, they want to send a signal to the Ashantis that, the person we are bringing to partner Dr. Bawumia is a royal. And you know how Ashantis revere their royals. So if someone from the royal family is coming on the ticket of the MPP, we expect all the Ashantis to back this individual. And then you do the political aspect of it. People will say that, because he's a royal, he's come to do politics, MPP is a stronghold when it comes to the Ashanti region. Every member of the party must go in there. They feel, say, where I am here, this is one of our own. So let's get everybody within the region to back him. So the target is 85%. As to whether they will do so or they are able to do so and apathy does not set in, December 7th will determine.
So it's a very ambitious
it's very ambitious one.
Considering that the NDC is always targeted the Ashanti region. Yes. There was a time they also made this ambitious plan to get 1 million votes. And we also know that at least NDC has like 4 constituencies in the Ashanti region. And looking at how numbers are working out, it looks like if the NDC does a lot of work and there's a certain percentage that the NDC should work at getting, it may most likely...
If you look at the electoral history, anytime NDC crosses 25% vote in the Ashanti region, the party wins the election. Anytime MPP crosses 70%, MPP wins. Now what the NDC is trying to do, they will want to cross 25%. And if they're able to do that, there's a possibility John Mahama and Madam Nana Opoku may come to power in December after the election. That's what the MPP is trying to avoid. Let's get more than 70%. Let's get the 85% we are targeting. NDC also wants to push above the 25%. because historically, when they do more than 25%, the party wins that election. So that's what they are planning to do.
So for me, so the ceremony beautiful, of course, is a speech. The speeches were good.
Yeah.
I mean, Akufo-Addo did his bit and the best to introduce these two persons and say, I know these people, I gave them jobs, they've executed, they are perfect, they are the best pair of hands that you should put in place. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia comes in, makes a speech, and it's interesting they all spoke in Chi, of course, for the same reason that we're talking about, it's in Ashanti region. And then hands over to Napo. Now, what I was expecting is that MPP people, I'm grateful. Ashanti people, I'm happy. We are honored. We're going to work together. We'll campaign. We'll win. But when he picked the microphone, I think the thing that Ayikwe Otu called Beshi, the thing entered him, sort of. You know, Ayikwe called it Beshi when he went to the Supreme Court. Representing Sir John. I think, I don't know, maybe the crowd excited him.
Perhaps.
And then he thought that he was on a rally ground. But I think what he needed to know is that he has been elevated from a parliamentary candidate. This is not parliamentary election. And he's not just a, you know, when they do big rallies, before the main speakers, there are
other small boys
who come in, then
charge the crowd.
Charge, and those people will say all manner of things, you know. I think that's what he still thought he was. He had forgotten that a minute prior, he had been introduced as a running mate, and that means his vice presidential candidate, which means president in waiting.
Yeah.
So I thought that he could have managed his speech. The point about giving him a speech, maybe he cannot come and stand there and read a speech because nobody on that stage read a speech. However, he could have speaking notes.
Yeah.
You can write them in your hands, like in the olden days when I have not copied before, but those who copy in exams, or you write the thing and take it in there. You could have that, or have a small piece of paper that you can reference. I realized he wanted to just charge the crowd, but I don't think he should have been the one doing that. Nanabi was there doing that already.
Anthony Kabu was there
doing that already.
Archibald Kobna was also there doing the same.
So I don't think he should be doing that. They should charge the crowd for him to come. But for him to come, and he was moving at one stage.
He was moving from one place to the other.
And I'm like, wait a minute.
The president stood at one place. The vice president stood at one place.
He was all over the place, taking over. Maybe he wanted to take over. Maybe he wanted to show that.
That's his territory.
But it's your territory does not mean okay, you just come and then take your time, especially when you just left Otumfo's place. And Otumfo has
advised you.
He has told us that he spoke to you in private, but he still won't say it in public. Now he has finished speaking, then the next moment you are out there. And you didn't have to. Nkrumah is not in our political context currently in any way. The CPP as a party is a dead giant. We don't know when it will wake up. It's a confused dead party, dead giant. Now, your target should not be Nkrumah. You are competing against John Mahama.
Yeah.
Go back to 92. Usually, we all reference 92 when we are doing a lot of our comparisons because there are a lot of military rule in the middle between 92 and Nkrumah's time. But I mean, like the guy said on the host on City Breakfast Show said this morning, or the panelist on the City Breakfast Show, Napo attended the school that was set up by Kwame Nkrumah. Yeah. I'm not sure he has set up a school that somebody will attend. I don't know. I don't think since he became Minister for Education, set up a school. So you attended the man's school. You drove on the man's motorway to go to wherever. You come here, you enjoy his facilities. You are supervising a sector that he created the best that we can really talk about. The Tema Oil Refinery, the Volta River Authority, the Akosombo Dam. He built all these things. You don't even have to go and bring it on. It's unnecessary attacks that he has brought his way. And for him to go to Western North and go and re-emphasize the position, I thought he would have simply said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say Kwame Nkrumah. My Manufuye, how do you say Manufuye? I thought he should have just said that.
In our political space, apology is not something that is part of our politics.
But we have to learn to do
If you apologize, it means you are weak in a certain area. So in order for you to, feel that, what I said was right, there was no way I should apologize. You should justify what you really said and explain further what you really said. And exactly what he tried to do at the Wasel. You remember in 2012, 2016, the tag of Akufo-Addo was all die be die. He never apologized for that.
Yeah, he stood by it.
He stood by it.
He printed T-shirts.
And the supporters of the MPP
2 days after
went by it.
2 days after the audio leaked of him saying all die be die became public, there was a big MPP program at the La Trade Fair. And he was there. He re-emphasized it, and there were people wearing all die T-shirts.
But then he justified why he said all die. He said they were going to protect the ballot, even if it means they are even going to sacrifice themselves.
But you cannot justify that Akufo-Addo has done better than Kwame Nkrumah. You and I have not lived Kwame Nkrumah's era.
Bawumia, you and I didn't see Kwame Nkrumah.
Yeah,
we only read about his things in books, and we're told by our teachers in secondary schools or primary schools. With regards to the infrastructure, where people say Kwame Nkrumah did, we've seen them.
Yeah.
But then the other things we didn't see.
I attended one of the secondary schools he built, Get Fund schools.
Definitely. But then the other counter argument is that we all heard, that our generation all heard about the things Nkrumah did through our teachers or read in books. There may be a different narrative from what our teachers told us. There may be a different narrative from what is written in the books. And so for him to come and say that Akufo-Addo government has done better than Nkrumah, it depends on the narrative he's also coming from, where he's also coming. Maybe
no, we all went to the same schools. The curriculum is the same. The same thing they taught us.
Maybe at his time when he was in school, it wasn't the same curriculum they were using to
all-level people, they taught them the same Nkrumah.
I'm not sure, like how we did.
Yeah,
you and I went. Hold on.
You don't need to be taught Nkrumah to know Nkrumah.
You and I went to secondary school. At that time, it was O-level.
Yes.
We didn't do O-level and A-level.
But the curriculum was still Nkrumah. Nkrumah never died.
But they've changed it till now.
You know Nkrumah.
I know Nkrumah never dies.
You know Nkrumah.
You go to other African countries and you see monuments of Nkrumah.
21st September.
I was in Mali. I saw his statue there. I've been in Ethiopia before. I've seen his statue. I've been to Guinea before. I've seen his statue
where
there.
he had he was school president.
Big. No two ways about it. Nkrumah is big. But we are made to understand Nkrumah is big through the books and the things our teachers told us.
No, through the things we've seen.
Maybe he has a different narrative.
So, I am a student of history. So I was taught Kwame Nkrumah. You didn't do history.
No, I didn't.
But
do
you
history.
know Nkrumah. So which book taught you? So you saw, you felt him. When you saw Kania and Akosombo Kania, you go home and you switch on your light. It's Kwame Nkrumah. Vaco, Tor, Motorway, Polugu, everything's on. So
Nkrumah never dies. CPP never dies.
I think it was a wrong comparison.
Yeah.
I don't think he should have gone there.
It was wrong.
He should have compared Mahama.
The comparison would have been him and the NDC.
I'll get tired. After all, there's 8 years of Mahama Mills to compare with.
8 years of Akufo-Addo.
Or there's 8 years of Rawlings from 92 to 2000. But you don't even need to do that. Kufuor has come to work that out. So you've had 8-8. Now there's another 8-8. That's what we all have been comparing. Why do you have to go to 1957? I think it's too far.
He was carried away by the crowd, I guess.
Yeah. And his spokesperson has admitted that maybe the way he intended to say it and the fact that the crowd was, when you are speaking to a crowd, there are times that you may not get things out the way you want to. But either way, I'm sure he has learned from this one. This is the first of many speeches.
Baptism of fire for him,
yes,
I guess.
The Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, when you pick up a microphone again, please pause and look and pause and then speak. This is the Citiuation Room on ChannelOne television. My name is Umaru Sandamado and I'm here with Sami Wiafi. When we come back, Musa Dankwa is in studio. He's with Global Info Analytics. We'll talk about the work he has done on NAPO. Please stay. You're welcome back. This is ChannelOne television. The program is called Citiuation Room. My name is Umaru Sandamado and I'm here with Sami Wiafi. We've been talking about the unveiling of Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, NAPO as is known, in Kumasi and all the issues that have been coming up. While we're doing all of that, Musa Dankwa of Global Info Analytics has been also busy doing some work on the ground. He's actually here with us. Musa, please join us. Let's know the work you did and what you've seen about it. Is it approval ratings that you went to do, or please, Musa, join us. Let's see the work that he has done. It seems he has gone to check the approval ratings of NAPO on the ground, both Ashanti and Eastern. Yes, please. No, come, just come. Just come in there. Yes, you're welcome.
Mr. Welcome. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
How are you?
I'm doing very well.
Everything going well?
By His grace.
Everything going well for NAPO?
I can't say so now.
What have you been doing? What work have you been doing?
You know, when he was announced as the candidate or the running mate for DMB, we decided to go to the Ashanti region first to see what the views from Ashanti region is, and then to see whether the narrative they want to take with them resonates and what the numbers will look like eventually now that he's been nominated.
Wait, so he was announced on Thursday, exactly a week ago.
Yeah.
Is that the day you started your work?
I started work the following morning, Friday.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. So as soon as the National Council endorsed him now, you started work?
Yes.
So did you use the same electoral college you've been using, or you
No,
have a
this
new
one
sample?
we purposely selected the Greater Kumasi Metro Assembly
Metropolitan area.
The inner part.
Okay.
We picked few ones outskirts from like Mampong, Hafono Sub, I think so, Offensu North, and if it,
those are not in the greater Kumasi metropolitan
area. So
area.
to see whether the views in the center will be the same as the views on the outskirts.
So in total, how many constituencies?
15
constituencies. How many people?
1,300.
And the focus was what? Do you like Napo or you don't like Napo?
Purely, we looked about his approval of the decision to nominate him.
Okay.
Do they approve it or not? If they do, would the decision likely influence their vote for MPP or not? And then we also asked them whether they believe Napo is the best person to help MPP break the 8.
I see.
And then we went ahead to ask them about how do they rate him with some other candidates in terms of favorability. Favorable or unfavorable, we found the net effect.
Was it random selection or these were targeted to?
No, it's random on the street of random selection.
But MPP members?
No, voters in Ashanti region. Because remember, you are taking the region, and the region votes as a block, not as MPP. So everyone was captured. So we have MPP voters, largely made a sample, about 60% of them were MPP. NDC were a small sample, and then also have some floating voters, and those who normally hide their party affiliation.
Yeah. So please take us
and then we ask them who they intend to vote for. Having heard everything about Napo, we want to see whether their votes would differ significantly from what we know.
Please take us to the screen. Let's see what you've been unearthing.
So basically, I'm going to skip all this and go to the chart. Okay, the approach are there. Okay. So these are the constituencies we went to: Manhyia South, Obuasi West, Old Tafu, Manhyia North, Offensu North, Subin, Nshiaesu, Ejura Sechere, Bantama, Asukwa, Kwadaso, Mampon, Swami, Asawasi, and Ufurukrom.
Did I see Manhyia South in there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then in Greater Accra, we went to Ayawaso, West Wagon, Ayawaso, Central, Tema West, Ablekuma, North, Ablekuma West, and Lejokuku. All of these are MPP-held seats, except Lejokuku. Demography, I'm not going to waste too much time on the demography, but go straight to the key questions. Okay, here.
So there's a rating, okay.
There's a rating. We asked them what view do they hold about the following candidates.
Okay.
These were candidates that were mentioned during the discussions as who should partner Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Dr. Osei Iduchum, favorable 6-7.
So you give all these 4 names out to ask them which one they would have preferred to partner.
No, not who they prefer. They should give us how they think about these people.
Okay.
What view they hold about them. So favorable for Iduchum was 67%, Opoku Prempeh 79%, Canada Japan 77%, Opoku Nina 65%. Then unfavorable 24 for Chum 19 for Opoku Prempeh, 21 for Japan, and 21 for Opoku Nina. And in Greater Accra, we only took Matthew Opoku Prempeh and Canada Japan. Greater Accra. The same questions like this. Favorability 36 for Napo, 47 unfavorable for Napo in Greater Accra. In Greater Accra, Kennedy 45 favorable and 42 unfavorable. Then that gives you a net effect. So plus 43 for Iduchum in Ashanti region, plus 60 for Napo in Ashanti region, plus 55 for Kennedy in Ashanti region, and plus 43 for Opoku Nina in the Ashanti region. When you come to Greater Accra, Napo minus 11.
Oh, wow.
Approval rating in Greater Accra. Kennedy plus 3.
So Kennedy does better than Napo in the Greater Accra region?
Greater Accra. This simply means that in the Ashanti region, Napo will be an asset. In Greater Accra, it will be a liability.
Yeah.
Right. Then we asked them, do they approve Napo's nomination as running mate in the Ashanti region? 75% approve of that nomination. 22 disapprove, and 3% did not have opinion. So overwhelmingly approval is 75% in the Ashanti region. And then if you look at the approval by party lines, 89% of MPP voters approve of him.
In the Ashanti region?
In the Ashanti region.
Okay.
And 10% said they don't approve of him.
Even in the Ashanti region,
yes,
MPP supporters in the region still don't approve?
Yes.
10% of them?
10% don't support. When it comes to NDC, 25% support or approve, and then 72 do not approve. Among the floating voters, 72 approve and 22 do not approve. And other smaller parties, 27% approve, 53 disapprove. And among those who did not disclose a party affiliation. Approve is 59%, and 30% said they don't approve. Now, this is the approval rating in each constituency.
Constituency, yeah.
That we looked at. The highest comes from Manhyia. In fact, is Oforokrom, 90%.
Okay. So Froko even does better than his own constituency.
Yes, by 1%.
Which is Manhyia South.
Manhyia South, 89%. Manhyia North, 83%. We have Bantama, 86%.
Yeah.
Wadasu, 80%. Swami, 88%. The areas with the lowest approval, or the highest of look, Asukwa, 30% disapproval, but 70 approve. In Asawasi, 54 approve, 45 disapprove. You can understand that it's NDCC.
It's an NDCC.
The same as NDCC.
Yeah.
So 49 for the 7. Offenso North, 66, 30% disapprove. And then you have Mampong, 81, and then Obuasi were 71. So these are the numbers that we see from these regions. And then we ask them, how likely is the nomination of Napo going to influence you to vote for the NPP in the election? Vote. Remember, approval isn't the same as voting.
Vote, yeah.
Here, likely effect on voting. When it comes to that question, it is 62% said they are likely going to be influenced. Likely. Not certainly. And then unlikely, 21%. Not certain again, it's unlikely, but some of them may, over time, change their position. And then neutral is 17%. So you can see that this is not at the same level of approval of 75%. And then in Greater Accra, when we ask them the same question, how likely is Napo going to influence you? 24% said likely influenced. 67 unlikely to be influenced by Napo's nomination. It is worrying for MPP in Greater Accra, especially knowing that these are areas they are supposed to be dominant. Ablekuma North, Ablekuma West, Iwasu Central, Iwasu West Wagon, Tema Central. Only Ledehupu is on its own. And this is the feedback from this area. So it is
this sharp opposite what's happening in the Ashanti region.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Musa, does it mean because a Greater Accra is a mixture of everybody?
Yes. And also it tells you any region that behaves similar to Greater Accra could have this.
The same figures?
Yes. So they should be worried for the numbers in Central region and Western region.
So if they are to, say, campaign well, we put Ashanti region aside because obviously for the figures. But those ones showing you these figures, it means campaigning in this area like Greater Accra should be more than you should do in the Ashanti region.
Or you identify the common denominator that causes this issue, and then avoid deploying that asset in that areas.
Okay.
Yeah, so you must understand what this means. And even if you deploy him there, what approach should he take to minimize this kind of perception? Because this data gives you an insight as to what you could do to minimize the fallback.
So in deploying, you can say that don't go to these areas.
Yes, that's the safest thing you could do. But it might be obvious.
But you can't prevent a politician from
exactly.
going to certain places
that's
to campaign.
Where the campaign strategist has to work harder in tandem with him and see, okay, if you are here, focus on this. If you are here, don't go extempo. Or you speak for a few minutes. Let the rest, the Rambo routers do their thing. You come for 5 minutes, you are done, you go. This is very informative when you decide to use it. Now, if you look at this, in Greater Accra, those who said they will be influenced to vote for MPP, 49% of MPP people said they will be influenced. 42 said will not be influenced in Greater Accra.
And these are supposed to be MPP supporters?
Yes.
I see.
When you come to NDC, it's okay. Look at that.
Yeah, of course.
And then worrying the floating voters. 9% said they may be influenced, likely. 74 unlikely in Greater Accra. That is worrying.
And we are told that it's the floating voters who decide an election in Ghana. Yeah.
So if you don't make good impression among the floating voters, you are done.
Musa, so the first graph means that the MPP is divided almost like how?
Yes, on Napo.
One group that thinks that he's inconsequential, another group thinking he's consequential. So it's a source of worry in Greater Accra region especially, because
Yes.
Greater Accra region is considered a bellwether region
Yes.
a lot of the times.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And then likely influenced by electoral constituencies, you could see that.
Just go back one bit. I want to see something. Ofori Chrome versus Manhyia South again. I noticed that those were the...
See Manhyia North likely to be influenced, 55%.
Okay, okay.
And Manhyia South is, what is Manhyia South?
No,
Just before by Manhyia North.
Yes,
that's the first one.
86%.
What's happening in
So
Manhyia
even in
South?
his own constituency, which is Manhyia South,
remember-
14,
Yeah,
40% disapprove, or
Yes,
unlikely,
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
In Shiaiso, Aswasi is an NDC.
No, you see, in Shiaiso, the numbers are quite low.
Yeah.
You know why? In Shiaiso, it's a very floating constituency.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we are told that Ishiasu is like East Lagos of Accra.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, sort of.
So you
The
must be
lead
worried.
area.
So you see, that's why I say that if you have a demography that mimics Ishiaiso anywhere in the country, take Ishiaiso as a bellwether.
I'm looking at Idras Echedumasi. Those are rural constituencies, typically NDC constituency. Idras Echedumasi.
It's still hovering above 50%.
Yeah.
But Sawasi is probably below 43% in terms of influence.
Which is expected.
Yes.
Obuasi West. Kwartins constituency.
Yes, only 42.
Only 42. And then, so Subin is a place that he should work on again. Subin is also low. Manhyia North. Then, looking at, okay, so Asqua is very good for him. Ofori Chrome, yeah, some work he has to do there. And then
Swami also looks good for
Swami
him.
is very good.
Yeah.
Very well. Let's go to the next one.
Now, in Greater Accra, in Ablekuma, likely to be influenced, Ablekuma West, 24%.
That's it.
And that's supposed to be an NPP seat. That's the communications minister's seat.
Absolutely. This is a warning sign of something to come in the future. Unlikely, 69%. Ablekuma North, 48. 41 unlikely. Iowa Central, 22 likely. 73 unlikely. Iowa West Wogon, East Legon of Chiasso, 19%.
Ah.
67% unlikely. Tema Central, 16% likely, and 73 unlikely. Tema Central is a strong MPP seat.
Yeah.
The last election.
Just looking at casual look, the account dominance in Ayawaso West, Tema Central, you would have expected more Ablekuma North and even Ablekuma West to an extent.
Yes.
Lejokuku, mostly NDC is reasonable.
So that shouldn't be worried.
Ayawaso Central, yeah. But
Ayawaso Central is a mixture.
Yeah, but I expected Tema Central and Ayawaso West were going to come high for him because of the...
It tells you problem. And you see, if Ayawaso, West Wogon, and Shiaiso are similar in nature,
yeah,
it tells you people in that demography how they think about Napo.
Yeah.
What else do you have?
And then we ask them, is Napo...
Do you believe Matthew Opoku Prempeh is the best candidate to help NPP break the 8?
Yes, 20%, 60% Ashanti region. No, 28%. No opinion, 12%.
So you have 40% that are not really certain whether he's a guy who can help. And I asked earlier if these are only MPP members.
No, these are voters.
These are voters generally.
Yes.
Okay. But I think
now, if you come to party affiliation on the same question, it is 77% of MPP people said yes, he's the one to help.
He's the one, okay.
16 said no, he's not the one.
That's handsome, isn't it?
And 7% said they have no opinion.
Okay. Okay.
NDC, you expect that to happen.
It wouldn't matter, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And then in Shiaiso, the same response.
The same question.
Same question. You see, look, in Shiaiso, 48%. Manhyia North, 46%.
He has got his constituency. They are on his side.
Manhyia South, 84%.
Yeah, that's good.
Asukwa, so there are variations across.
It's reasonable, yeah.
And then we ask them about some personal attributes. Confirm.
So what do you mean by personal attributes?
Things that are being said about his nomination. Oh, he's a unifier. He's that. So we took those issues to the people.
To the same people you interviewed, the same sample?
Same people, yes. Same
so
sample.
Do you agree or disagree that Dr. Opoku Prempeh is a unifier?
Agree, 74%.
That he's a unifier?
Yes.
That's impressive.
In Ashanti region, yes. 23% disagreed, and 3% did not have an opinion. On the question of ensure that the MPP wins big in the region, do you agree? 74 again agree, 21 disagree, and 5 did not have an opinion. On the question of attract floating voters, drops 70%. And then disagree 25%, don't know 6%. So there's a bit of doubt about floating voters here. And then attract voters outside the Ashanti region. 68% said they agree, 25 disagree, and 7 don't have an opinion. And then the youth, Dr. Fuku's nomination is just to win the Ashanti region. Agree, 62%. Disagree, 31%. And 7% don't know. So you can see that they largely agree that it is just for him to win Ashanti for them.
Yeah.
Now, having asked them all these questions, we then zoom in to see what they will do if given the chance to vote. So we asked them, in the upcoming elections, in the December elections, who would you vote for? Or if the elections of December is held today, who would you vote for? 15% Mahama, 73% Bawumia, 9% Alan Martin, 2% Nana Kwambediako, the rest 1%. So here, this is the gap, 15-75.
In the Ashanti region.
In the Ashanti region. Now, voting intention by ethnic groups in the Ashanti region. You can see that Bawumia is dominant across almost all the ethnic groups except Gruma and the Mande group in the Ashanti region.
So
in the sample we interviewed, yes.
Who would you vote for in the 2024 general elections in Ashanti?
Yes.
And so JDM is doing 9%.
Among the accounts?
Among accounts.
Bawumia, that's 81%.
So JDM's highest number is Mande.
Mande.
Who are the Mandates?
A mixture of Fulani people,
my people.
Jula, yes.
Moshi people. Or Moshi is separate.
No, Moshi is Mole Dagbani.
Separating Moshi separate. Okay.
Yes. I mean, for the first time, Bawumia is winning among the Mole Dagbanis in the Ashanti region.
And Mole Dagbani are who?
The Gombas, the Mamprusis, the Kusasis, and the little clan.
Where do you put Gonjes?
They are Guans.
And Guan.
They are Guan, yes.
But how come? So Mama is not doing well among his own Guan folks? I mean,
no, the Guans are broad. Okay. The Chirpons, the Latte, the Futu, the Nkunya.
Okay.
But probably.
But this is just in Ashanti.
Yes, in Ashanti region.
Evers,
surprisingly, this figure looks a bit bellwether. Gan 22 for Mahama and 61 for Bawumia.
These two are supposed to be NDC.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That they look a bit like bellwether. So maybe over time we'll see what the real number is. And Evers 29%. We saw the same behavior in Asen North when we were polling. We thought it was a bit unusual. And I think in the election they
But what I find is that Bawumia is leading in all of them.
Yes.
Isn't he? Except the Mande.
Mande and then the Guruma people.
Not Mande, Mande and Guruma people.
Yes.
Okay. Right. But this is just Ashanti.
Ashanti.
Okay.
And then when it comes to the
who
religious
would you vote
group,
for in the 2024 general elections?
By religious
religion.
Groups.
Okay.
Mahama is 11% among Christians.
So Christians in Ashanti region, 11% say that they will vote for Mahama.
Yes.
79 are going for Bawumia.
Yes.
Mind you, Bawumia is a Muslim.
Yes.
Mahama is a Christian.
Yes.
So it's a reverse voting for them there. Right?
Yeah, because mostly the MP
yes,
are Christians.
Yes, okay.
And then among the Muslims, we have 32 for Mahama and 5-3 for
So Bawumia is leading
this is the first time we've
among
seen
Muslim
this,
voters.
Yes,
okay.
in the Ashanti region. And the traditional religion, 22 for Mahama and 67 for Bawumia, 11 for other religions, 68 for Bawumia, and 78 for Bawumia among non-religion, and 9% for Mahama.
All right, so this one is a long one. Who would you vote for in the 2024 elections? Party affiliation. I think we'll talk about this when we come back. Let's take a break. This is a very good place to take a breather. You are watching The Citiuation Room on ChannelOne television. I'm here, Umar Sanda, with my brother, Sami Wiafe. We'll be back. Please stay. You're welcome back. This is The Citiuation Room with Sami and Sanda, and we are hosting Musa Dankwa. Before we went on the break, we were walking you through the statistics that he gathered, the data he's been gathering, and then we got to a very critical question in terms of people in Ashanti region, how they will be voting based on 2024 voting intentions compared to how respondents who voted in 2020 elections. So we have given you what he has found now, and then we're doing a comparative analysis. Musa, take it up.
All right, thank you very much, Umaru. Umaru. What we've done here is to show you the deep blue are the current polling numbers. 73 Bawumia, 15 Mahama, 9 Alan, 2 Kwambediaku.
Explain this question. Wait.
Here, how the people we spoke to who said they would vote this way, 73, 15, 9, 9. We asked them who did they vote for in the last election.
Okay. Okay.
So this light green is how they voted in the last election.
What's the significance of this question?
The significance is that we are trying to compare how Nana Bawumia ticket performed among the people we interviewed.
Okay.
And how
whether they are sticking to it or they are going to change.
Exactly.
Okay.
It put in context, see whether people are holding their coalition together or there's fragmentation. When we spoke to them, 84% of them said they voted for Nana Bawumia in 2020.
So 84% that voted in 2020 is reduced.
Reduced to 73%.
So in simple terms, and if I'm wrong, correct me, the Bawumia-NAPO ticket is not as popular as the Nana Bawumia ticket was.
Exactly.
Okay.
Simple English.
Okay.
Now, even though Mahama got 15% currently, the number remains the same among those who said
they voted for him.
So it means he is stable.
He hasn't changed.
He hasn't changed.
Okay.
It means that if you expand this, it means those who voted for him in 2020 will still show up again and do the same thing.
But it's different from the Bawumia-NAPO ticket this time around.
They are losing some people to somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, where, see, the difference between 84 and 73
like 10
is what?
Yeah.
It is 11%.
Okay.
Where did he go to? Alan Chiramartin now is on 9%. Nana Kwambediaku, 2%. 2 plus 9, 11. 84 minus 73, 11.
So Alan and Kwambediaku are very major threats to Bawumia-NAPO.
If you succeed in whipping the base to come out, the second task is whip them in line. If they come out and they disperse, you are in bigger trouble.
Okay.
Now, look at Greater Accra, the same analysis. The blue is what they are doing now for John Mahama. 56% among those we interviewed in the strong MPP areas, except Lejokuku. This is how they are voting. 56% John Mahama, 41% Bawumia, 3% Nana Kwambediaku. Some almost nil for Alan in those areas. But when we asked them who they voted for in the last election, Mahama got 40% according to them. Nana, DMB, 59%. So you can see the swing between from Nanado, Bawumia to GM this time around. This tells you what is actually happening on the ground and how the numbers are shifting. And this is not NDC stronghold. This is MPP Ablekuma West, Ablekuma North,
Tema Central,
Ayawaso West, and Ayawaso Central. The only NDC stronghold is Lejokuku.
Even that is done NPP before, so
yes. Now, if you look at the 2020 vote and how they intend to vote. Now, among those who voted for Nanado in 2020, about 3% are voting for GM this time around. 85% are voting for DMB. Right? Out of the 100 people who queued, 85 are doing Bawumia. 10% of Nanado supporters in 2020 are doing Alan Chiramartin. Nana Kwambediaku is doing by 1%.
So those are the two people you should watch.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you come to Mahama, 87% of people are doing him again, but 10% have switched
to DMB.
DMB. Remember we said there were two unusual numbers there.
Yeah.
The Ewe vote and the Gav vote were going for Bawumia in the Ashanti region. That accounted for this huge number. Among those who didn't vote, and they are doing so for the first time, Mahama gets only 7%. Bawumia gets 73%. Alan gets 14%. Bediaku 7%. First-time voters, or those who didn't vote last time. So the numbers are very intriguing from the region. If you come to Greater Accra, see the problem. Among those who in 2020 went for the NADO Bawumia ticket, 25% of them have switched to John Mahama. A quarter of the vote. That is unthinkable swing in the region. Bawumia gets 71% of the people. 4% go to
of first-time voters.
Oh, no, this is those who voted for.
Yeah, who have voted already. Yeah.
Okay. And then Kwame don't get our 4%. Now let's go to those who didn't vote. Mahama gets 53%. Bawumia 30%. Alan 5%. Kwame 12%. And those who, for Mahama, he got 97% of people who voted for him last time are doing so again. Only 2.4 or 2% are doing Bawumia. And about 3% or so, 0.1 are doing Nana Kwame Bediako.
Okay. Right.
Now, let's look at those who are undecided in Ashanti region, and those who said they will not vote. Among those who said they will not vote in Ashanti region, 11% of them are MPP sympathizers. 0 are NDC. Not a single soul of NDC said they won't vote. Among floating voters, it is 47% in Ashanti region. These are people who normally vote for MPP anyway.
Yeah.
And then other parties, 0%. And those who did not disclose their party affiliation, 42%. These are all likely MPP voters that they say they will not vote.
The more reason why MPP wants to whip everybody in line
to
get them. Very, very necessary for
them.
That's
the data.
They all kept talking about
this is the data. And among those who said
very necessary.
Look, the same pattern. Among those who said they are undecided, MPP 6%, NDC 3%, floating voters 26%, others 6%, and not disclosed 60% undecided. So if they do decide, where will they go? That's the big question.
Okay.
That's the end of
that. That is what you have done. So what's the major takeaways? What will be the headline issues coming out from your project? What should Bawumia look out for? What should Mahama look out for? And what does a NAPO ticket mean to the MPP?
I mean, from this data, DMB must fully understand which region to deploy NAPO and which region not to deploy NAPO. So if they deploy him to, what should be the strategy?
So what regions are the no-go areas for NAPO? And what are the regions
I won't say no-go areas, but you have to weigh the risk and then the counterbalance that with some measures that you put in place. But Greater Accra is one of them.
He should be there or he should not be there?
They should limit his
presence in the Greater Accra.
Same for Central, same for Western region. Already Western region is not looking good. So if you deploy something that repulses them, that will be a counter.
These are swing regions.
But already he's in the Western region. He's already in the Western region.
Yeah.
He was in Wasa yesterday.
My thought is that probably was because he felt he needed to go there because of the situation on Tuesday.
So these swing regions are regions he is not particularly popular in.
No, even not just him. The party is already struggling in this.
So who should be deployed there? Then Bawumia should be doing more of that?
I think so. I think so.
What regions should he be strong in? His own home region?
Ashanti region, Ahafo, Eastern region, yeah, and maybe, I don't know about Bunu and Bunu East, but there are other implications as well. They know best than I do, so I'll leave that to them.
Already, the running mate is in the Western North region. Is it one of the places you shouldn't be?
Well, you see, Western North and Western region they are the same
behavior. Yeah. It's like Volta and OT.
But I think he won there for a purpose because he was there with some amazing one candidate that
that might be East constituency, the parliamentary candidate.
That issue. So probably let's see how it goes. But I think what we will do going forward is that Ashanti is going to be very key for us in the polling because we need to understand for us to do accurate projections.
Where should Bawumia repeat his footprints? He's in his home region now. Where should he repeat his footprints and perhaps do...
No, they have the polling numbers. Look at the polls. Let the polls guide you. Don't just be running around.
Okay. So it should be data-driven.
Absolutely.
Don't just do rallies.
Look, everything you do, everything you say should be driven by data. Anything less, you'll be doomed.
Which areas should John Mahama work on more, and the NDC for that matter?
They need to work harder in the central region.
The central region.
Yes.
Where they have a running mate
Their
coming
running
from.
mate, that's where their running mate is coming from.
Central region is some region that you
it's unpredictable.
Yes.
Okay.
He should also, Northern region cannot be ignored as well. Northern region is also another area he should put his eye on.
I think we can end here, can't we? I think you can dispatch Musa.
Sir, that's an interesting one. I'm sure we'll see you again.
Definitely.
Before the December election.
Oh no, we have several posts now. We're going to be doing Ashanti posts every month now.
It's an interesting. I get feedback from my colleagues who say that they're interested in a lot of the posts you do, and that anytime they hear that you are coming, they are stayed on and want to hear and know what really you are doing. And I'm sure from now to December, they will stay tuned all the time to see what you have.
There will be more posts coming.
It's been an exciting edition. Oh, you got something to say?
Yes. You know, Musa is our resident pollster. We've done a lot of work with him. But last month or so, we had a new pollster in town, Professor Masapon, Musa's friend. He has done some work on the Manhyia South. The MPP is needing to choose a new running mate. Control, do we have that story up, or I need to read from here? Do I have the story on the... Okay, so good. So that's the story. It says Professor Sapon tips Bafo to win Manhyia South parliamentary primary. And the story that has been sent us by a reporter following this story says that a poll conducted by researchers at the Kumasi Technical University ahead of New Patriotic Party's primaries in the Manhyia South constituency is projecting a win. It says Nana Eje Bafo has been tipped to win the Manhyia South parliamentary primary according to Professor Sapon's Science and Data Research. The New Patriotic Party parliamentary primaries in the Manhyia South is scheduled for Sunday, July 14 in Kumasi. The primaries follow the elevation of the incumbent MP, Dr. Matthew Puku-Prempeh, as running mate to Dr. Bawumia. The National Council of the party has approved it. According to Professor Sapon's survey, Nana Eje Bafo is expected to win the Manhyia South MP parliamentary primary by not less than 70% of the delegates. And for me, that's all I was looking for. So Professor Sapon, we've done this with Musa a number of times. He'll do his work, come here, we'll tell him that you mentioned a number, we'll hold you to it. You have also said this. There was a view that also a free Prempeh, who is junior brother.
And currently the constituency treasurer.
Many thought that he's the one who will win because he's junior brother to Napo. You were saying he'll get 21% of the vote. Smart, now can you? And so we wait. July 14 is not far. Next week when we'll come, we'll talk about that. But I think we have to end it here. It's a very good time to end. Musa, thank you so much. You can take leave of us so we can sign out our show. God bless you so much. That's Musa Damkwa. He's head of global research at the global... Oh, okay, walk. Feel free.
Musa, feel free.
Feel free. He's head of the global research, global info analytics, joining us for that. My name is Umaru Sanda Amadu. I did this with Sami Uyafi. We just returned from Kumasi, where we had some nice fufu.
Is it really Kumasi?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought France.
Oh, no, you didn't go to France. You don't have visa to France. So should I speak French?
Mon ami, ça va?
Oh, ça va très bien. Toi,
les TF6?
Et toi, les watch de télévision et la ChannelOne télévision. Merci beaucoup, mes amis. We'll see you again.
Merci beaucoup.
Enchanté. But child French is poor. It's okay. Good night.